It has been a minute since I have done this. Hey guys, it's Shelly. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be discussing the story of my hands. But before that, if you are new to this channel and you want to have more Shelly vibes in your life, definitely click that subscribe button. I'm going to try and post more often. I used to be so active on this channel and I used to be such a YouTube freak. But I have since taken a break and I want to get back into it and share some more stuff with you guys. So if you're here, you probably heard of the story of my hands. I'm just gonna get a little bit more in depth and kind of tell my own personal story from my own words and my own experience. So yeah, today I'm just here in my studio. I have this little bitty painting behind me. My dog's in here and there might be cars passing by because it's like the middle of the day. And it's a Tuesday, it's a Wednesday. Also, I have this makeup look going on. I've been trying to experiment with this like moon stamp and I don't know why, but I cannot get into it. Like, it just looks weird. And like, so yeah, sorry if my eyes look a little bit weird. I tried to like do it up and fix it with some stars, but I don't know if anything can help this look today. So my hands got burned on August 20th, 2020. Actually a really good day. I was hanging out with my best friend Ashley. We went to go have a few drinks at the Rim at a really nice bar, and then afterwards we went to go eat at P.F. Chang's because they have really good lettuce wraps, and in case you didn't know, they have vegan lettuce wraps and they are bomb. But yeah, it was actually a really good day. We were hanging out. This was probably like 6-7 p.m. something like that we were like hanging out, and then afterwards we decided to come back to my studio. And when we got here, we were just chilling, and you know, we started lighting some candles because we were trying to just attract such positive vibes. Little did we know that there would be a crazy chaotic event going on pretty soon. So the candles were on, we were chilling, and at this point it's like already late. It's like midnight. And one of the candles was lit and I decided to pour oil into the candle flame. Well, I didn't know that the oil had perfume. I don't even think you should be pouring anything into a candle to begin with. So that's like mistake number one. And everything happened so fast. I mean, like within a matter of like 10 minutes, probably, like chaos just like completely like unleashed. I ended up pouring the liquid into the candle. The candle, I don't know how, like I said, everything happened so fast. I don't even remember like the second that my hands got burned. I don't even remember seeing them like get splashed or anything. It's just what I'm assuming because of like what the doctors and stuff has told me and what I can like remember from my mind. But when I poured it, it created fire. And I mean, literally, like, this could have been so much worse, you guys. Like, there was literally fire. And you know, so my brain was more concerned about getting this, not lighting the whole place on fire, basically. So that was more my concern, and I wasn't even really focused on my hands until I had like a moment to just stop for a second and kind of like think and figure out what to do. And then I just like felt excruciating pain from my hands, and I couldn't tell where it was. I thought it was on the bottom of my hands because when I grabbed the door to like run and go out and throw some of the fire items out of the building, my hand just like, when I grabbed the doorknob, it just completely like, it just felt like hot, like so much fire. And I thought that it was like fire flames on my hand and that they were touching the hot metal of the knob, but no, it was like actually the tops of my hands. Like, my hands were on fire. It wasn't like fire that I was grabbing, it was like fire that was already on me. Like, I don't know, it's just kind of crazy to explain. I'm happy that it was just my hands, honestly, because it could have been a lot worse, and I'm happy that everybody's okay. But my hands did end up feeling really like burned. Like, talk about like fire. Like, my hands were literally on fire, and I can't even explain the pain. Like, it was just like excruciating, like hot fire like on my hands, and I couldn't do anything with them, and I was just kind of screaming. Like, I was just like screaming in agony and pain because of this whole thing. And mind you, like I said, this is all within like probably 10 minutes or less, like super quick. I was just like completely distraught and in such pain, like I couldn't even use my hands. I couldn't. And then what I did, I ran it underwater, which I don't even think you're supposed to do that. Like, I've heard that before. I don't know what I was thinking running it underwater when I've heard before that you're not supposed to run your burns underwater. But I did, and it did actually ease some of the pain, but right away it was like, as soon as I removed my hand from the water, it would just like burn so bad. Ashley did end up taking me to University Hospital here in San Antonio, and they did end up taking care of me there for a little bit, but then they were like, you need to go to BAMC because that is the place where they handle burns. Like, we don't treat these here. And I'm so thankful for the burn center here in San Antonio, because literally there is no other place in South Texas that treats burns like this. They do take regular people, but like I said, that's the only center in South Texas. So if somebody were to get burned in, you know, a little town that's like, I don't know, 2 hours from here, their nearest spot that would be taking care of them would be this burn center that I went to. So I'm like super thankful that I had it available to me in my city. I did end up having to go the next day. So the burn happened around midnight. I went to the hospital shortly after, and then I was there till like 5 a.m. because they just take so long to see you at the hospital. And here I am with boils on my hands. Like, I literally have like bubbles all over my hands, and they're like swollen, and I'm in pain. I would say I have a really high pain tolerance, and this was definitely one of the most excruciating pains that I've ever had. But I did end up going to the burn center at BAMC the next day. That's like the soonest time that they could see me, and they were so nice. Like, the people there are so nice, and they're so friendly, and they took really good care of me. I did have to go back and see them, like, I think it was once a week for a month or so, and then after that it shortened to every 2 weeks, and then they saw me like a few weeks later once. So I did end up visiting, I would say probably at least a handful of times, at least 5 or 6 times probably, because they would take a look at it, they would take off my bandages, and ooh, I mean, ooh, like the early stages, like thinking about it now, like, oh my gosh, like, because my skin was literally peeled off. I had no skin. There was no skin. Like, that's how deep the burn was. Like, you wouldn't even think, a little candle, like, you wouldn't even think. But like, the burn was so bad, it literally took off flesh. Like, I literally had flesh. There was no skin. And I mean, I only laugh and like kind of smile about it now, because that's just how I handle things, and I don't like to take life so seriously. It's crazy how my body has healed. Like, I don't know, life is an interesting thing, and I think you can't take it too seriously. Thankfully I'm alive, but it's definitely a story to tell, and I waited this long to tell it probably because I wasn't ready, or I don't know, I just needed some time to sit with myself and kind of accept it and like think about it and ponder on it and heal from it, you know what I mean? So but I'm very happy to be telling my story to you guys and telling my side of the story and just giving everything that kind of like went down. And yeah, so thank you for listening. And then like the healing process was interesting too. I had to change them 3 times a day. I had to put ointment, like moisturizer, like intense moisturizer, ointment, and then bandages, and then I had to wear gloves. And they told me to stay out of the sun because the sun could damage the burn even more. Even to this day, I have to wear sunscreen on my hands, because if not, I am prone to skin cancer. And that's a very scary thing. Cancer is a very scary thing. So I do try to take care of them every single day as much as I can. Every time I wash my hands, I have to put moisturizer on. And then I do have to put sunscreen on every day. So it's just a constant thing. And I've accepted it now. It's actually really nice, and my hands feel really soft all the time. So that's good. But yeah, and I was wearing gloves for a couple of weeks, for at least like a month, or for at least like 2 months I was wearing gloves on my hands. And during this time I was working on a commission for a local salon, and I had to finish it, and I couldn't, like literally like a few days after I got out of the hospital, like it sounds so crazy, but like I had enough drive in me to like get back to the studio and work, like, you know. And it's just so crazy looking back, like why didn't I take a break? But I just like, it's just like a way of like healing. And you know, everybody deals with healing and pain and recovery differently, so whatever way works for you works for you. And apparently I wanted to get back into the studio and keep working, so it was just a way of healing for me to tell myself, yes, you can still do things, yes, you can recover, yes, you can transform, you know, yes, you can adapt. So I guess that was like my way of healing from all of this. But I did end up finishing a commission for that salon, and they loved it. And then I was also curating a show for another local artist, Akemi. So during all this time, during this healing process and going to these appointments, I was still working and trying to just keep going, you know what I mean? So yeah. And thankfully today my hands are doing great, like I love them. So like the status on my hands is that sometimes, this I think is the deepest one. Let's see if I can focus. Oh yeah, here's my hands. Look at, I was messing around with those damn moons. This I think is the deepest one, and you can kind of tell there's discoloration there. I had burns literally all over the place. There was a huge boil here. It's hard to tell, honestly, and I am a little bit more darker skinned, so I guess that helps. But there's another one here on this ring finger that you can kind of see, this kind of like triangle type of shape. But this one's definitely the deepest one. And sometimes if I nick it, even yesterday, like I accidentally scratched it because my nails are starting to grow out again. I accidentally scratched it, and sometimes when I poke it with something pokey, it just kind of like sends like a chill, and it just feels weird because the skin is so new. Like they literally told me that like the skin is baby skin because my skin freaking burned off, yo, like that's crazy. But so when it grew back, it's literally brand new skin. Like for all the skin that you've had your whole life, and then to have it completely taken off. And of course, like our bodies are amazing, so it's growing back, but it's brand new, you know what I mean? So I have to take care of this new baby skin. I'm healing, everything's good, everything's Gucci. They look good, they look great. And I'm very thankful for my hands. Like these are tools, these are our tools, you guys. Like especially if you know me, you know that I'm an artist. I do everything with my hands. Be thankful for what you have. Be thankful for your hands. Like today, look at your hands and say, I'm glad to have my hands, because it could have been a lot worse. And just gratitude, you know what I mean? That's one thing that I've learned, especially over the past year or so, is gratitude. Because you gotta be thankful, and you gotta keep going. Just be thankful. Try not to be in your head. Try to keep going. Keep doing what you love. And there's always a way. There's always a way. So, life lessons. Life and art go hand in hand. I definitely work off of experience when it comes to my work. And this is definitely a huge experience. And it was, like I said, the burn center at BAMC was amazing. Like they were so sweet. There was this one nurse, he was like the best. He was so funny, and I would like go into getting my bandage changed out, and you know, I'm over there going in with an open mind, trying to not think about like my skin that's gonna be ripped off and played with, and he would be there and he would just be like listening to Black Sabbath and just like chilling, and I'm like, this is a cool nurse. He had like his beard braided and stuff like that. Apparently he's been there for like a really long time with the burn center. So that's really good. But yeah, they were super helpful. They were super nice. And I was always happy to be seen by these, by the staff at this burn center. So I'm super thankful for them. I actually ended up creating a piece out of all the gloves that I wore during my recovery, because this really cool nurse would send me home with tons of gloves, because mind you, I had to change my gloves again 3 times a day, but I ended up having all these gloves, and I was like, me being an artist, being a recyclable, you know, reusable artist, I was thinking, what can I do with these gloves, you know, because like I said, I work from experience. This is something that I've worn, something that I'm only gonna wear for like a short amount of time, but is very significant in my life. So I was like, what can I do with these? And then one day it just kind of hit me, and I was like working on a piece that was already kind of in progress, and then I just ended up throwing all these gloves and kind of intermingling them. I poured resin on top of it, I painted around it, and I created a piece called Ablaze. I actually exhibited it at the 2020 Vision Show, which is a show that I hosted at Brick at Blue Star back in November, and it was kind of different. It looked different because my work goes through different stages. It was actually an interactive piece where you can lift it up and see all the gloves. Well, I actually ended up cutting out part of the hand because I love the hand piece, and for some reason it's so funny. I'm actually gonna let you guys in on a little something. I've been like drawing my hands a lot recently. Earlier in 2020 I decided to draw my hand on one piece of art. If you go to my website, it's like the first one that you see when you go to my website, but this other one that I made for the gloves, I ended up drawing my same hand with the gloves on. So I think it's kind of interesting how hands have played a part in my art and a part of my life, like within the past year or so. So that's kind of interesting. It's always cool to see these little things kind of pop up in your work that like also pop up in your life. It's kind of cool. But yeah, art and life go hand in hand. And oh my gosh, art and life go hand in hand. Jesus. Anyways, I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions, or if you want to talk about it more with me or anything else like that, definitely leave a question or comment down below. Please subscribe for more Shelly Vibes. I'm trying to do more videos. And thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting. I am a full-time artist here in San Antonio, Texas. I do take personal commission requests. I do paintings, collages, digital work. If you have any painting work that you would like to be done for your office or your home, just let me know and I can figure out something for you. We can work together. I'm always down to collab. I did become a full-time artist back in October, yeah. Oh wow, I was like healing from my wounds while I went back to work at Sephora, and then I ended up leaving that job and being a full-time artist. So I am a full-time artist now. I'm working every single day, and it's a lot of hard work, but I love it. Thank you for listening. I love you guys. Please subscribe, like this video if you did like it, and follow me on Instagram because you'll find more like up-to-date information and posts, and kind of keep up with me on the daily there at Shelly Vibes Art. And yeah, thank you for tuning in. I love you guys. See y'all later. Have a good day. Bye.